is Eric Sloef and I'm at the VMware booth. We are here at the vSphere New Features booth, and this is the place where all the cool things are shown. I'm joined by Joseph Deakins.
Hi Eric.
Hi Joseph, how are you?
Doing okay.
Great. So, you have a real cool slide deck showing all the new features. The first one, we're going to do them one by one. Those are all vSphere 5.1 features, is vMotion. We already had vMotion. What's so different with this new type of enhanced vMotion?
So we've enhanced vMotion. It's one of our most popular features from our customers. So in traditional vMotion, we required a shared storage device in order to do the memory copy between the EXX host and move it to a different EXX host, the virtual machine. Then we had storage vMotion, which we were able to take the local disk, the VMDK disk, and move it to a shared device or another device that the EXX host could see. Now with our new and improved vMotion inside vSphere 5.1, we can move a VMDK that's on a local disk from one EXX host and move it over to another EXX host local disk via the network. So both the virtual machine's memory image goes across the network, and now the storage, the VMDK storage device will now go across the network as well.
That's awesome. So if you have a small customer who doesn't have shared storage, but he still wants to be able to play one of his hosts free, then you can migrate the virtual machines from one local data store to another local data store?
Absolutely. So it's a great benefit to the smaller size customers.
And the bigger size customers, where they have large data centers and they want to move a virtual machine from one data center to another, is that also possible?
Absolutely. So
those are two great use cases. What's the penalty? How many migrations can I run at the same time?
So it's the same requirements as it was in the past, but right now it's 2 simultaneous per EXX host.
Okay. On to the next vSphere Auto Deploy. We already had Auto Deploy. It was streaming with Pixie Boot, it was awesome. What's new about the new 5.1 Auto Deploy?
So some customers were a little concerned about Auto Deploy when they couldn't reach the Pixie server. There was that one potential case that it might be a single point of failure. So in vSphere 5.1, we've enhanced it to allow you to have a configuration where it's no longer completely stateless. We'll pull down the image from the Pixie server and we'll install it to the local disk on the EXX host.
So it's a kind of stateful installation stream?
Stateless in kind of a way. So a little bit of a hybrid approach as well. So it can do completely, pull it down once and install it, and then thereon after it'll use the installed version. Or it can do a little bit of a hybrid model where it'll pull it down. If it can reach it, it'll pull it down, and it'll keep a cache location on the disks. So in the future, potentially maybe you've taken the Pixie server offline, it'll just use the cache location if it needs to reboot.
So you're still able to host, for instance, vCenter and that sort of other virtual machines who are normally affected without a Pixie Boot server, you can host them in the same environment?
You can host them in the same environment, absolutely, yeah. And it's really more of a high availability thing, so if you do lose your Pixie server for any particular point, any reason, you'll easily have the local copy.
Are you still using host profiles to maintain the configuration?
We still are using host profiles, and the host profiles have been enhanced as well, so more things can be configured inside those host profiles, so it gives a little bit more flexibility to our customers.
So what are the types of install media that are supported by Auto Deploy in this case?
Types of install media?
Yeah, can I install it on a flash card or a USB drive on the target host?
Absolutely, yes. You can install it either to the USB device or a traditional storage device on the EXX host.
So I still have the benefits of don't use local disks, but I can control the image from a central place.
Exactly, yes. And it's nice, you can patch the central location, and the next time the EXX host reboots, it'll get all those patches updated.
Oh, that's another great feature. Let's look at the third one, the vSphere Web Client. The vSphere Web Client is completely replacing the normal vSphere client that is used under Windows.
Right. So it's going to be completely replacing it. We do have a little bit of a GUI here. See a nice little web client. So it looks exactly pretty much the same as you saw on the traditional clients that you had to install on the Windows side. But now it's all through the web, so it's a little bit more flexible for our customers. They can access it through pretty much any of their devices that are flash-based. Here we're just showing that vMotion that we were talking about, that enhanced vMotion that's now available in 5.1. Here when we see we can do our migrate, and again, it looks exactly like it did in the traditional client, but we can see we can do both change, both host and data store.
Right.
If we go to our old client, we'll notice that when we try to do that vMotion, the change is blocked out. We can't change both the data store and
What you're saying is that only the new features are made available in the user interface through the web client?
Exactly. The new features that VMware is working on are going to be shown up here in the new web-based client, and the old client is sort of losing favor, and we're trying to get away from that.
I've heard a complaint here and there, to be honest, because it's running on Flash, and Flash isn't very well received. Is there any chance that HTML5, for instance, will be supported in the future?
There's a chance. We can't comment on that quite yet, but when we decided to go with Flash at the time, it was a few years ago when we started to build this, it made sense. Of course, as new technologies come out, we always are thinking about enhancing that, so it's a possibility.
The Flex platform also gives you other opportunities because third-party software companies can put in their own plugins.
Exactly, right. So third-party plugins can work with this framework as well, and Flex does give them that foundation that's easier to work with for most customers. But we're
it's
still
Adobe Flex. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're still trying to build out that whole ecosystem. So some of the plugins aren't quite yet available with the new client, but they are becoming more available as it's becoming popular in the marketplace.
Okay, great. So the last feature we're going to hit is single sign-on. One server that provides the sign-on process, and you can single sign-on to vCenter, your Vue environment, your Cloud Director. Am I right?
Well, right now, right. So right now, just the web client is really using the single sign-on service. We're trying to get more of our products built around it, so it's the foundation for that. So once we authenticate once with the single sign-on service, the token that you'll get will be able to be used anywhere. So you can go and take it to your vCloud Director, and it'll automatically log you in with the right credentials. You can take it to your vCenter operations instance, and it automatically so it'll look seamless throughout all of our platforms.
I've seen people struggling with the installing single sign-on. You got to provide a domain, your DNS must be right. It's not something you can do easily at home. Can you give them a few tips?
The easiest tip is to get it all bundled from us. So download the vCenter appliance, and it's all completely bundled in one nice little flat package. It works perfectly.
So you are referring to the V-app that's running on Enterprise Linux with vCenter already installed?
Exactly. The one that has vCenter already installed, it has the web client already installed, the single sign-on service is already there, it's just ready to go for our customers.
So what are the boundaries of that appliance if you're using the default database? Are you limited in the number of ESX hosts you can connect?
So right now we are a little bit limited, and I think it's 5 ESX hosts that support it right now. However, we've been using this in the hands-on labs and been able to support a lot more, so it's capable of doing it, but what we've tested in Qt and what we tell our customers, it's only 5 right now.
Yeah, and 50 virtual machines, I believe, otherwise you have to attach an external Oracle database, and that's also a lot of labs don't have, so that's why I was asking.
Exactly, but it's a good start for the customers if you want to just get it up and running quickly. It's a really good start and something to play with.